Hi.
Jack.
Can I come in?
Oh, please do.
Thank you.
You got my message.
No, I haven't been home all afternoon.
I wanted to tell you that I'm so sorry about what happened the other evening.
No. I'm sorry. Look, one dinner with Eric isn't a federal case, and I'm sorry. I overreacted.
You all right?
Why do you ask that?
Because it's just not like you to fly off the handle that way.
Stephanie, I've been under a little pressure, and I shouldn't have taken it out on you. I'm sorry.
Well, I won't soon be having dinner with Eric again. I mean, Sheila will see to that. Talk about hoof and mouth disease. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that the way it's... I'm just so aggravated. Sheila's the most infuriating woman. I can't even stand to be around her in the office. I came home early today because of her.
Have you talked to Ridge yet?
Briefly.
Did he tell you about the dinner he had with Taylor last night?
That it was very romantic and they had a wonderful time, yes.
I should have a lot more of those.
I'm sure they will.
This conference comes at a very inconvenient time.
I agree.
They were just beginning to get their marriage back on its feet.
Jack, she's only going to be in Egypt for 4 days.
Taylor has things that she needs to get done here.
What things?
She needs to be with her husband.
What are you saying, Jack?
Stephanie, they have made giant steps, but they're not out of the woods yet.
Is there something I should know about? Is there a problem between Ridge and Taylor?
Mrs. Forrester, may I interrupt?
Yes, Maria. What is it?
I found this letter when I was cleaning Taylor in Ridge's house.
Okay, good. April, give me a turn. Another one. Great. That has the flow. Exact flow I was looking for. Good, thanks. This is not working yet. Feels too austere. This collection's got to be so whimsical. Maybe if we took up the hem of it, what do you think here?
So, this is how fashion trends are born.
James, this is a surprise.
Well, did I come at a bad time?
No, not at all. All right, Laura. April, thanks. That's all for today.
You don't have to stop because of me.
No, I could use the break, believe me. So, what do I owe this visit? What are you doing here?
Macy, you don't mean that.
Yes, I do.
Honey, you're talking nonsense. We have to keep our heads.
We have to use our heads, Anthony. The situation is getting totally out of control.
You're only going to exacerbate this by acting like this.
We have to do something, Anthony. I can't go on living like this. Either we tell Mother the truth about our relationship or we have no business being together.
Honey, I'm going to tell her.
When?
I have to wait for the right moment.
Don't you see, the longer you wait, the worse it's gonna be for Mother. You don't understand, Anthony. She is in love with you.
She told you that.
Yes, she told me that, and she suspects you're seeing another woman. What would have happened if you had shown up when she was over here? Look, I know you're attached to CJ and to her. You don't want to hurt them. But we're playing with fire here, Anthony, and my mother is the one who's going to get burned.
All right, tell me, Macy. What do you want to do about this?
There is only one thing we can do, Anthony. We've got to confront Mother immediately.
We have to handle this very carefully.
So handle it carefully, but just do it now.
If we rush this, it could devastate Sally.
We're not doing her any favors by keeping secrets.
Look, I know you're upset, but you have to be calm about this. It's not as bad as you think.
Oh, no, it's worse. Anthony's much worse than I thought.
There's no reason to get carried away.
You know, I had a chance to tell her the truth tonight, and I didn't.
She's your mother. You want to protect her.
You don't protect people by keeping the truth from them.
Sometimes that's the only answer.
And what is the truth, Anthony? What about your feelings for Mother?
I am in love with you, lady. You know that.
I know you have a very strong connection to her.
And that'll always be there. It doesn't have to change if you let me handle this my way.
You know, I don't want to put you in this position. I know this is difficult. Believe me, I experienced that tonight. You know, maybe it's not worth it, Anthony. I mean, you and Mother could be very happy together.
Would that make you happy? Is that what you want?
No.
I didn't think so. And I don't want that either. Look, I don't like this cloak and dagger stuff any more than you do, but by giving me ultimatums, it's not going to get us any closer to a solution. I don't want you to worry about this. I'm going to take care of it, but you have to trust me, Macy. Can you do that? Can you trust me?
Do I have to have a reason for stopping by?
Well, I haven't seen you since the party. I just thought maybe something was up.
You mean between Brooke and myself?
Yeah. How are you two doing?
Oh, we're fine. How are you and Taylor?
Well, you know, she left for Egypt today.
Yes. She told me about the conference last time we spoke.
I'm surprised you weren't attending.
Oh, Reg, I've been to enough of those psychiatric summits to know they can be perfectly boring.
That's probably why she wasn't very enthusiastic about this one.
Or maybe she didn't want to leave you.
It's only for 4 days, thank God. I figure after what we've been through, we can survive this.
You seem to have made an amazing recovery.
Well, I had to make a bit of an attitude adjustment.
Well, you certainly seem to be more positive.
It's hard not to be after what happened last night. We had dinner at the private dining room. I can't remember the last time that we related so well. I mean, it was just... everything clicked. It was perfect.
I'm glad to hear that.
I was beginning to wonder if we were ever going to get back in sync.
You been having troubles?
Nothing monumental, just, Taylor hasn't quite been herself since that quake.
How so?
She's been fairly quiet and a little cool towards me.
Oh, Reg, that's understandable considering what she and I had been through.
You've been feeling something similar.
Yes?
You know, it's funny.
What's funny about it?
I thought the reason she was acting weird was because she was pregnant. Well, it seemed right at the time. It's her behavior, this fussing over the trip to Egypt, the romantic dinner last night. I thought she had some big news for me.
Did she say that? That she had news for you?
No, it's just me jumping to conclusions. I've had a problem doing that lately.
What do you mean? Yes, please.
Well, I thought that you and Taylor were, let's just say that I've treated you awfully bad.
Oh, you were just protecting your marriage.
Yeah. In the meantime, I was tearing it apart.
Anyone can make a mistake, Rich.
It's a lot more than a mistake, James. It's destroying the most important thing in my life, and I think a part of me knew it.
Well, it wasn't difficult for anyone to see that you and Taylor were in trouble.
Yeah, but I had the power to stop it, though.
And you did?
Thorne did. If he hadn't stopped me going to Paris with Brooke, my marriage would have been over now.
Oh, but that didn't happen.
But it could have. It could have. I behaved, unforgivably.
Rich, you know as well as I do that nothing is unforgivable.
But my relationship with Taylor should have meant more to me than this business, James. No, I expected too much of her. I asked far too much of her, and if I had ruined what we have together, I can only thank God that it never came to that.
I think it's from Senora Taylor. This is her stationery.
Well, yes, it is. Thank you, Maria. I'll take care of it.
Si, senora.
It is. It's for Ridge. That's sweet. She left him a note. She must have written it just before she went to the airport.
What are you going to do with that?
I'm going to give it to him.
I wouldn't.
Why not?
Just let me keep it for a while, okay?
You?
Till Taylor gets back.
What's going on, Jack?
Stephanie, sometimes there are things that it's just better that you know nothing about. Trust me.
Do you know what's in this letter?
Let's just say that Taylor wasn't thinking very clearly at the time when she wrote it. She was under a lot of stress.
Well, I'm sure Ridge will understand that.
No, he won't. This could end his marriage if he reads it.
My God.
Now, let me have it, please.
I can't do that. This belongs to Ridge.
All right, Stephanie, read it. You could protect your son from a lot of pain. If you want to read it, go ahead. Then you'll see why he should never see it. Go ahead.
Dear Ridge, by the time you read this, I'll be far away, and of course I'll be thinking of you and thinking how you'll react when you learn what I've done. I keep remembering our dinner last night and some of the things that you said, things you learned from me about sharing your heart, your soul with that one special person, taking that risk, what it means to be able to do that, to know that in a world where there's so much uncertainty and insecurity, there's one human being who knows you as well as you know yourself, and how I am that person for you. Well, you are that person for me, too. If I can't tell you everything, you're no more than a good friend, but you are more, and I want you to be more. There has been something I haven't told you. I guess I was afraid. But our talk last night made me realize that I must tell you everything. When James and I were stranded in Big Bear during the earthquake, something happened. I won't bother to justify it now. I could certainly argue that the taste of death was so acute that we were certain it would probably be our last act. We made love. James and I made love just once, and now I regret it, but it happened, and I can't pretend that it didn't, though God knows I've been trying to. What impact does it have on you and me? None. I love you no less. I'm no less committed, but I realize that you may see it differently. I'm asking you to try and look at this in perspective, to see it in your heart, to forgive me, and to harbor no resentment for an act that never would have taken place had we not been terrified of an earth that wouldn't stop moving and frozen from the wind and the bitter cold. So there it is, my love. I'm so deeply sorry. I pray to God that you and I can work this through. Please don't let it defeat us. Ridge, be strong, but regardless of what you decide, know that I will always love you, Taylor.
Now do you understand why he should never see that letter? Let me have it, Stephanie. Give me the letter.
You and Taylor put a lot of stock in honest communication, don't you?
I feel like that's a key to a good marriage.
But the key to communication is flexibility. Having standards is, well, that's very admirable. But they can be counterproductive if they're too rigid.
So what does this have to do with communication?
When you were in school, did you ever have a professor who demanded perfection, not only from himself, but also from his students?
Yes, I did, and I hated the guy.
Were you intimidated by him?
Well, let's just say I never said a word in his class.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You have a wonderful marriage, but no marriage is flawless. You're human. You make mistakes. The strength of your marriage lies in the ability to work through these mistakes, not in these outlandish standards of yours.
You may have a point, James. I hadn't thought about it in quite that way.
Nobody's perfect. Remember that.
you gonna do?
Nothing. Tonight. Tonight I want to be with you. So, let's forget about Sally for this evening, and let's just enjoy ourselves. I promise you, you're not going to regret this, woman. You won't regret this. I promise.
I'm sorry, Anthony. I really don't feel up for dinner tonight.
You went to a lot of trouble to make it.
Well, I guess my mother killed my mood.
Then we'll just have to revive it.
Everything's cold.
Well, I believe I can remedy that.
I was talking about the food.
I want you to just relax and you just follow my lead, all right? I'm gonna take care of everything.
What are you doing?
Conjuring up a little romance. Some warm lighting. Soft music. And of course, some candlelight.
You're supposed to be my guest.
Yes, well, your guest wants to pamper you. There you are.
Thank you.
Thank you
For what?
for making me feel the way you do.
Guilty?
Not even close. The way a man should feel when he's with a woman he loves. Exhilarated, anxious, and extraordinarily happy.
What are you anxious about?
I want to do things right with you, Macy. I know that our relationship hasn't had the most perfect of starts.
Hasn't been all bad.
It shouldn't be bad at all. I sometimes wish I could start over with you. I would change so many things.
There are some things that I wouldn't want to change.
Well, we would do those again.
I'd like that.
I think we should forget the dinner and skip right to the dessert.
Stephanie, please let me have the letter.
I can't do that.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to give it to my son.
Are you crazy? Ridge can't find out about this.
Your daughter wants this.
It'll destroy their marriage.
I can't believe Taylor and Warwick.
Stephanie, that was one night under very extreme circumstances. You can't come down on Taylor for that. We can't let her destroy her future because of some whim.
I'm not coming down on her, and this isn't a whim. She's trying to be honest with her husband, and I have to respect that.
Do you realize how serious this is? I don't think you do. What Taylor has done could be the fatal blow to their entire relationship.
Or it could be the very thing that ties them together for the rest of their lives. Do you think that I don't know what a shock this is going to be for him to hear? But I also know something else. He loves her. I know that. And I believe he will respect her integrity.
I think it's too risky.
We don't have any right not to give it to him.
All right, then hold on to it just for a couple of days.
Why?
Because I think Taylor will change her mind if we give her a chance.
I can't do that. The letter is addressed to Ridge, and I have to give it to him, Jack. That's him now, I'm sure.
I implore you, don't do it. For me, don't give him the letter.
Jack, this is not our decision to make. She wrote this letter to Ridge. She wants Ridge to know the truth. I'm going to see that he gets it. I have to do that.